A dim lab in Boston, racks of evidence bags stacked high, and a lone chemist racing through paperwork. This is Annie Dookhan. She works at a state lab near Boston that tests drugs to put criminals behind bars. But she had a secret that would bring down an entire state's justice system and ultimately lead to the dismissal of more than 21,000 convictions. The largest single dismissal of convictions in the history of the United States. This is the story of Annie Dookhan. The year was 1977. Annie Dookhan was born Annie Dookhan in San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago, into an Indo-Trinidadian family. She would later move to the United States as a child with her parents, who were doctors, earn a degree from Harvard in chemistry, and eventually start working at the Massachusetts Department of Public Health's Hinton State Laboratory Institute, one of the state's primary drug testing facilities. Except Annie's parents weren't doctors, and she never took a class at Harvard. She had made the whole thing up, a ploy for a promotion. Prosecutors loved her. She worked faster than anyone else, delivering results at lightning speed. Her colleagues processed a few hundred samples in a year. Annie processed thousands. Her colleagues called her Superwoman. Her supervisors were blown away. How does she do it? Here's what the lab did. Police dropped off drugs seized in arrests, white powders, brown rocks, green leafy substances. The job was to test and identify them. First came presumptive tests, quick chemical reactions that suggested a class of drug. Reddish purple meant opiate, burnt orange meant amphetamine. Then came confirmatory tests, the machine work, gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, graphs on a screen compared against known samples, science that determined guilt or innocence. Here's what nobody knew. Every test Annie claimed to perform would decide someone's fate. Prison or freedom, guilty or innocent, family together or destroyed forever. And she wasn't testing anything. She just looked at it. Annie called her method eyeballing. It gets worse. Annie wasn't just lazy, she was deliberate. After a 3-second glance, she typed up fake results.
Sample tested positive for cocaine hydrochloride. Purity, 87%. Weight, 3.2 grams.
Complete lies. And when she didn't like her guess, she made the evidence fit. She took real drugs from other cases, contaminating clean samples. Baking soda became cocaine. Protein powder became heroin. She was manufacturing guilt. But how long had this been going on? 2003? 2004? 2005? 9 years. Every day, Annie walked into that lab and chose to destroy more lives. Prosecutors built cases on her lies. Judges sentenced people on her fraud. She became the most important person in Massachusetts drug prosecutions. And then one day, everything changed. June 2011, Dr. Julianne Nassif, routine paperwork, just another Tuesday. She picks up one of Annie's reports. Something feels off.
Annie, can you come to my office?
Defensive, evasive, sweating, red flags everywhere. Dr. Nassif digs deeper, file after file. Tests completed in minutes that should take hours. Missing signatures, forged documents. Then, the desk, mixed drug samples, hidden away. Not an accident, a system. But nobody was ready for what happened next. August 2012. State police stormed the lab. This isn't paperwork anymore. This is a crime scene. They search Annie's desk, her computer, her files. 100 tainted cases. 1,000. 10,000. Forged signatures. Evidence bags opened. Results fabricated. And Annie kept coming to work. Still testing, still destroying lives. Until they had no choice. They needed her confession. September 2012. State police sit Annie down. They lay out the evidence, photos, documents.
We know what you've been doing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe just a few cases. I was under pressure.
The pressure builds, the evidence mounts, and Annie breaks.
I just wanted to get the work done. Yes, I eyeballed samples instead of testing them. Yes, I tampered with evidence. Yes, I forged signatures. Yes, I lied in court.
How many cases? Dozens, hundreds, thousands. The final number would haunt Massachusetts forever. 34,000 criminal cases, 60,000 drug samples, nearly a decade of fraud. When her confession leaked, panic spread. Prosecutors saw their biggest cases collapse. Defense attorneys flooded the courts. The justice system began to unravel. 21,000 convictions dismissed, hundreds freed, the largest dismissal in U.S. history. But the human cost was just beginning. Families destroyed, dreams ended, all because one chemist decided speed mattered more than truth. And Annie, she got 3 years in prison. Here's what should terrify you. Annie wasn't unique. Texas, North Carolina, Nevada, Michigan, analysts faking results. DNA tampered, false evidence. The Innocence Project estimates forensic fraud contributes to 24% of wrongful convictions. That means thousands of innocent people are in prison right now. Why did she do it? Pressure, ambition, something darker? Annie never gave a real answer. She destroyed 34,000 lives and disappeared into anonymity. Right now, across America, chemists are testing evidence, writing reports, testifying in court, and we trust them completely. But Annie Dookhan's shadow reminds us of something terrifying. Sometimes the most dangerous criminals aren't the ones in handcuffs. They're the ones wearing lab coats. Could it happen again? The truth is, it probably already is. Which lab? Which chemist? Which lives are being destroyed right now? We may never know. But if this story taught us anything, it's that we can't afford to look away.